Perfect.
Hi guys, Dave from Fore Golf. Time for the monthly update. PGA Championships just finished, so that'll be the first thing we go through. We've also had a couple of events up at Sun City. One just a regular stroke play event, but playing with a professional that was a pretty humbling experience. And also an interesting 3-ball team competition that I'll take you through. I'm also going to go through at the end of the video some predictions for the US Open, and let's see if they will be as good as the ones that I made for the PGA Championship. As always, if you did like the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and leave a comment below. Love to hear your thoughts. So we'll start with the PGA Championship. So an amazing tournament last weekend, with Brooks looking like he was going to absolutely run away with it for the first 3 rounds, and then just having a little bit of a wobble and giving some of the field a chance, and particularly Dustin Johnson. In fact, just Dustin Johnson, who was the only other one that was anywhere near. I don't think anyone would have been disputing that Brooks earned the victory and back-to-back PGA Championship titles as well. So very impressive from him. My picks one of them was Brooks, so I'm happy with that. Got the win there. One of them was Tiger though, and he obviously missed the cut. And then the other two were Xander Schauffele, who ended up tied 28th, I think, and Tommy Fleetwood that ended up tied 48th. Both of those having, I think, 6 over 5 final rounds, which really hurt them. So I think the conditions were as expected. You know, if you were long, it helped, but the fairways were tight, so you had to be accurate as well. Greens were pretty quick, and yes, it was tough scoring around there, particularly when that wind got up on the final day. So, yeah, really glad to see that Brooks came out on top, and of course then took the #1 spot in the world as well, which, let's be honest, he is the best player out there right now. A little bit later on, I'm going to be going through my predictions for the next major at Pebble Beach, so stick around for that. Okay, so what else has been going on in my game? I played around with a professional at my club, Sun City. So I played with Connor Brown, who actually plays on the Australasian PGA Tour. Quite honestly, just what a humbling experience. Just to watch someone plot themselves around the course in such a manner that never really leaves them in trouble. It's never take on a shot that they're not comfortable playing, and just make things look really easy. And to be honest, putt really well. That was the thing that stood out for me, was just how good he was from everywhere. He made 5 birdies in the round, 1 bogey. Yeah, shot 4 under. So pretty impressive golf. Came second in the competition overall that day as well himself, playing off of +1 on the day. So pretty impressive. So just about the only other time that I managed to actually play golf throughout May, it was a 3-ball team event up at Sun City. So it's a 3-person team event, and you're playing against another 3-person team in your group. So you've got 6 people out on each hole at a time. So it did take a little while to get around, and maybe next year we shouldn't be teeing off at a time where it's dark 4.5 hours after you've teed off. So we've finished it in complete darkness, which wasn't great. But anyway, the format: everyone tees off, and then you select the best of the tee shot from your team. Now, it's then Stableford through to the ball going in the cup from there, and if you choose the lowest handicapper's drive, you can pick one of those Stableford scores. You pick the highest handicappers, you can take all 3, and the one in the middle, you can take 2. So you get a little bit tactical as you're going around. You obviously want to be using the holes where everyone scores as most effectively as possible. But obviously that's tough to do as well. So it was an interesting event. I think we scored 82 points, Stableford points overall. It was myself that was the highest handicapper. Dale was around about 9 or 10 for the day, and then Joe that was on about 7, 6 or 7, something like that. So we did okay, but it wasn't enough to win. 85 points won it, and that goes through to a qualifying round to then have the opportunity to go off to an epic trip over to Hamilton Island. But sadly, that won't be us. But well, while we were playing, there was an interesting concept. Now, I'm sure you all play little games while you're out there on the golf course amongst yourselves. But the concept here that I was introduced to of a roasting. Now, a roasting, just to explain it first of all, is where if you're playing a 3 or a 4 ball, everyone else birdies the hole apart from you. I'll leave it to your imagination where that comes from in terms of a term. But what I want to clarify is this happened to me on the par 5, and we used my drive, and I was the only one then not to go on and make a birdie from there. So I'm going to leave it up to YouTube to decide, because it wasn't obvious within our group whether that was a legitimate roasting. But if you've used that in a scramble type event, Does that count as a roasted? I suspect I know the answer already. I'm clutching at straws. Okay, before I go any further as well, thank you very much to Prasad that I work with, who logoed this cup up for me, which is awesome and really needed this morning because it's actually quite cold out here today. Thank you so much for that, mate. But it does lead me on to just talking about the website that I've launched as well. So I've set up Fore4golf.com. Really using that as a landing page to get back to here really on YouTube, but I will be running a blog on there as well, so really appreciate if you go and check that out. The link I'll pop just here at the moment. I'll also pop it in the description. Okay, so on to the final element, my predictions for the US Open. So within June, the US Open is going to be at Pebble Beach, and I think there are a few standouts for taking that. So my first prediction, and that's with my heart, I'd love Phil to win this. Okay, I think in recent years he's become fantastic as a character around the PGA Tour, and that's perhaps taken away from some of what a quality golfer he is as well. But he's taken upon himself to make some changes, and he's quite happy to bomb it a little bit further, if not a little bit more wayward at the moment. The main reason I'd love him to win there at Pebble is it'd complete the career Grand Slam for him as well. So that would be fantastic to see him do that, because in another era he would have been far and away the best player around, but Tiger kind of got in the way of that. So it'd be great to see Phil take the victory out there. And to be fair, he's won the AT&T a couple of times as well, I'm pretty sure. Going with my head, I don't think there are going to be too many people out there that aren't going to suspect that Brooks Koepka is going to be there or thereabouts at Pebble as well. Another course that suits him, he's a relatively good putter, super long, and I'd expect Brooks to be there or thereabouts. It'd be a real surprise if he's not in the final 2 or 3 groups come Sunday. And he's shown in the last few that if he is there, he's got a really good chance of completing the job as well. I'm going to throw another one out there, a guy that ran him so close as well, and again has history playing well at that course, which is DJ. As I say, he's won the AT&T Pro-Am a couple of times. In good form. He's going to be a little bit pissed that he's lost the number 1 spot to Brooks as well, and he's going to have a point to prove there. He ran him close and he looked in really good form in those last few holes, so it might just be interesting. And can you imagine if we had a final twosome of those two? That would be epic, with Phil in the group behind, and then he comes through and wins. Perfect. For a first-time winner, I'm going to go with Tony Finau, again, for the same reason as the other guys. I think it suits him. He putts pretty well. He's long off the tee. He's relatively straight, and he's pretty good at getting up and down. So I fancy that Tony could be there or thereabouts as well. And then for one out of left field, a guy that I didn't know a lot about before the PGA Championships, to be honest. I saw him in a few of the rounds, and some of the comments that the commentary team were making as well, I certainly agree with, is Luke List. He looked like a cracking player, and my understanding is that he's been performing pretty well on the PGA Tour as well. So who knows? Luke List might be up there or thereabouts in the end as well. Okay, that's it. If you have stayed with me that long, I really do appreciate it. So in terms of what's next, we've got some videos coming out throughout June that are going to be a drone vlog. Really excited to actually get some drone footage out in a vlog for you. And then we're also going to be doing another attempt at the FSX Skills Challenge, and also a couple of versus matches, so including that match against the pro. So as always, if you did like the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already as well, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you think. Are my predictions for the US Open any good? Did I really get roasted? All this and more next time. See you later.
Perfect.